have been working on a pattern to resize our doll Ugg boots. After a lot of trial and error, I think we've got it. Sewing these boots is going to be exactly the same as sewing them for the smaller dolls. I have sketched the pattern to include a small seam allowance, so all we have to do to make these boots is print, cut, and sew. To print the pattern, I go to our blog, myfroggystuff.blogspot.com. On the tab, we have a quick listing of all of our printables, so you click on How to Print Printables. A page will open with some brief instructions, and if you scroll down, we have a listing of several albums that have different printables in them. The one we want right now is Patterns and Stuff. Here, we will have several options of printables that we can choose, so you just click on the picture that you want. Then, if you are on your computer, you can just drag it to your desktop and print according to your settings. I have cut out the pattern, placed the pattern onto felt, and one 9.5 by 12 rectangle of felt is more than enough to do a pair of boots. So I cut it out, take the cutout that is shaped like the letter C and the rectangle with the rounded end, line up the curves, use a needle and thread to sew them together. Felt does have a little give, so I find it useful to kind of force them to stretch out when sewing. Lining up the curved edges. Now you want to be careful not to pull too much because then you'll pull it out of shape. Just enough so that they are aligned. Continue sewing all the way across. Once sewn, open it up so the raw edge is facing up. Take the larger rectangle and line up the edges. Sew a straight line all the way across to connect them. Repeat on the other side. Try it on the doll to make sure it can slide on. Sew on the bottom of the shoe using a back stitch. Gently pull to even out the shape. Cut craft foam, glue it underneath. Repeat to make two to make basic boots. Cut and stretch a long strip of fleece. Glue it onto the boot for trim that looks like fur. And whenever I make something by hand, there are always imperfections, so I like to add little details to help distract the eye. Like in the corner, I got a little messy with the glue, so I add buttons to cover it up. I cover this with a thin strip of fleece, make a small bow out of ribbon, put a little glue on the cut ends so they don't unravel. Make sure the glue is on the back of the ribbon so that it is not visible. Then glue the ribbon onto the back of the shoe. Add a second one, and you're done. Happy crafting! Give a shout out to Stop Motion for Life. What's up? Comfiest boots ever. I am never taking them off. Are those my boots?